Now, on recruiting, this is a very interesting question. So, are law firms really after JD MBAs? Do they want them? Some happen to really want them. So, Goodwin Procter and Paul Hastings, apparently two firms, give generous bonuses of $20,000 to incoming first-year associates who hold a JD MBA. Now, this obviously doesn't really compensate wholly for the cost of an extra year. It comes close, though, but not quite. Still, if it's desirable, maybe this is a good thing if you really want to work for these kinds of firms. But the main concern that people level against it is that it is a concern for law firms that you have a JD MBA, because they'll say to themselves, wow, we're going to hire this person and they're going to, in 3 or 4 years, leave for corporate in-house counsel work. They're going to want to get into the business world. They're not really serious about the legal world. So they might look at that JD MBA with a bit of skepticism and wariness. JD MBAs are disjointed from law firm recruiting process. So if it's a 4-year program, and usually law firms are recruiting on a 3-year basis, so that you go, your first year is really important, and then you got that summer kind of associate job after your first year of law school in a law firm. If you have a 4-year program going on, it doesn't match up with that setup. And that can be a big problem if you're really trying to get into the kind of flow of the recruiting process. But people just say that JD MBAs will not hurt and may even help law firm prospects. There's a quote here. I'm not going to read this one, but the not hurting idea I think is valid. In general, as far as just looking at the degree itself and the educational value it adds, a law firm's not going to look down on the educational value. They'll probably see it as a good asset. It's just a matter of how they view your intentions and motivations if you're going to get out of law at some point. Again, a law firm has a business model, which is they invest a huge amount of money in you in the first couple of years to train you, get you up to speed, and they are concerned that they'll invest that money and you might leave 5 years down the line. They do not want that to happen. Okay, let's see. JD MBA provides a broader networking base, so you get both the benefits of the JD networking and community and the MBA community. This can be valuable just for yourself, so that you can network and get jobs, in different places, especially in crunch times, but also in terms of to a law firm and a law practice. So you can become a rainmaker, maybe, and a law firm will really prize this, because you have all these contacts from your MBA program. These are people that will be involved in the corporate world. So then they can come to you as a lawyer and bring you their business. But higher grades may just be the most important thing in a JD program to become most attractive to a law firm or even to a business down the line. So instead of investing your time between these two programs, JD and MBA, why aren't you investing your time in just killing your grades in the JD program? That way you can get a great law firm, in-house counsel, blah, 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 but maybe you're diluting your efforts if you're going with the JD MBA. As far as advancement goes down the line, for sure in a lot of companies, having an MBA is hugely valuable. Some people think that you can't advance without an MBA. Some people in the upper level management will have an MBA and think it's important. So if you're going to be involved in the business world and you really want to advance in it, but you also desperately want a JD degree, then it might make sense to have both. But it's very costly in terms of tuition and opportunity costs. Again, 4 years of your time. We're talking about not being able to earn any money, not being able to really kind of expand your experience and elevate yourself up the ladder in those 4 years in a company or somewhere else. And then also, of course, it can be between like $100,000 and maybe even $215,000 of debt that you're accumulating, depending on the school, depending on your living expenses, if you're paying rent, living at home, whatever. But it can be a huge amount of money. So a lot of these programs are costing like $50,000 a year. If it's an extra $50,000 for an extra 1 year, you got to think about that pretty wisely. Is the return on that investment of money worth that extra credential that you get? Is $50,000 worth that MBA credential you want? It depends.